flight is to transport veterans who have not seen the war memorials to Washington, D.C. to visit those memorials that are dedicated to honor their service and sacrifice. The first honor flight took place in 2005 when a group of World War II veterans out of Springfield, Ohio were taken to Washington, D.C. As it turns out, a dentist in Springfield found out that a lot of his patients were World War II veterans and they hadn't seen the memorials. So he decided to take them down there. Today, there are honor flight chapters in virtually every state. Our local chapter is called Honor Flight Bay Area and covers Northern California from about San Benito County up to the Oregon border. Honor Flight Bay Area tries to do 4 trips a year, 2 in the spring and 2 in the fall. I was on the 29th honor flight from the Bay Area, the first one this past spring. The flights are funded by donations. Major donors include Alaska Airlines, VFW Post, American Legion, USO, and Valley Wheelchair Foundation. Wheelchairs are a big part of the honor flight. Local donors include Kayamas Winery, West Valley Women's Club, and many other organizations in this county. Our flight left SFO on March 30th and returned on April 1st. We had 27 veterans on the flight, plus their guardians. We had 2 World War II veterans and several Korean War veterans. The rest of the group was made up of Vietnam veterans. This, along with the group leaders and guardians, completely filled up the bus that they had for us. Each veteran is asked to have a guardian accompany him. The guardian's job is to help the veteran. They help the veterans get on and off the bus. They load and unload the wheelchairs, and they push the wheelchairs around to the various memorials. I took my grandson Nick as my guardian, and he did a great job. Once you get to the airport, everything is taken care of. This trip was extremely well organized, and they thought of everything, including several surprises that we were not expecting. We arrived at SFO at 5:30 a.m. They had our boarding passes and seat assignments ready for us. We took an expedited route through TSA, which made it painless. Once we got to SFO, they began taking pictures and kept us up throughout the trip. They took over 900 pictures. I don't have 900 pictures here today. We had a professional photographer taking most of the pictures. These pictures are posted on the website, honorflightbayarea.org, if you're interested in seeing them. Back to the gate of SFO. The USO was there with coffee, juice, fruits, and various pastries for us. They also gave each veteran a goodie bag loaded with items to help make the trip more pleasant. An honor guard from the San Francisco Police was there to greet us. We boarded the plane first, the other passengers organized a line to greet us, cheer us. This was the case virtually everywhere we went. Once we arrived at DC, we were the last ones to get off the plane. This was done so they could organize the reception for us and the police escort to get us through traffic. We stayed at the Arlington Hilton, which was close to the airport and very comfortable. We had room assignments and key cards ready for us. Dinner the first night was a buffet, and we also had presentations by the guardians. Okay, now to get on to the meat of it. Our first stop was the Army Museum. This was just outside Washington, D.C., and it is a very impressive museum. Behind us is a theater with about 270-degree screen and a very nice sound system. And it had several battles depictions on that screen. The museum also has several rooms dedicated to various stages of our nation's evolution. The Revolutionary War period, the Civil War, World Wars I and II, Korea and Vietnam, and finally the Cold War and the Gulf War. You could spend hours visiting this museum. How do you start the video? This is an example of the receptions we had everywhere we went.
Learn to do this backwards. If you on that arrow, yeah. Arrow right below it. Click on that.
Okay, here's the reception we got. This is going into the World War II Museum. Oh, this is the Eisenhower Memorial, and it's General Eisenhower talking to his generals before they left on D-Day. Here we are at the World War II Museum, at the World War II Memorial. In the back you see pillars, and there's a total of 48 pillars representing each of the 48 states. Intermingled amongst the pillars are these plaques. This plaque is of a B-17 pilot, a B-17 crew preparing to go on the mission. You notice the man on the far right has his back to the camera and he's facing the tire of the aircraft. What he's doing is relieving himself before he goes on the long flight where they didn't have very nice bathroom facilities. In fact, they often froze up. Of course, in World War II, we have Kilroy. Anywhere the GIs went, they drew the picture of Kilroy. Kilroy was here. You recognize this as the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. We witnessed the changing of the guard. You can see how close we were to the tomb. The tomb is right off to the left. Two of our World War II veterans placed a wreath at the tomb. Audie Murphy's grave. Everybody knows Audie Murphy. The most decorated soldier in World War II. This is Joe Hooper. He was also a Medal of Honor recipient in the Vietnam War. So he didn't receive the fanfare that Audie did. Here we have the Jane Fonda Memorials. They were all over Washington. Because it was cherry blossom time. That night they had a mail call for us. Unbeknownst to us, they had our families send us letters, and we read them. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. Here we have Faith, Hope, and Charity. This is dedicated to the women who served in Vietnam. Hope is the one looking up. Charity There's the one administering aid. And Faith is in the back, kneeling down. The rainy day added to the ambience of the Korean War Memorial. You could just imagine those poor guys slogging through the mud. They had a wall for the Korean War Memorial with names of the 38,000 who died. Of course, this is the Vietnam Wall. It was a rainy day, so it was kind of hard to get around. I found 4 names on the wall. Three soldiers from Vietnam. They gave us each a medal commemorating the 50th anniversary of the war. This is the Navy Memorial, and that's the lone sailor, and he is facing the building where the memorial is housed. The memorial is one story below street level. And of course, Iwo Jima. Very impressive memorial. You get an idea how big that memorial is. Air Force Memorial. There's 3 starburst monuments there. That represents the missing man formation and the Air Force Honor Guard. Here's the front row or front view of the Air Force Honor Guard. And I leave it to your imagination to what that guy is doing behind the honor guard. 9/11 Memorial is located at the Pentagon. The Pentagon is off to our right. The benches facing to the right are in dedication to the people who were killed in the Pentagon. The benches facing the left are dedicated to the people who were killed at Scapeccia. The plaque under the bench lists the names of those who were killed. It includes all the families. When we arrived at SFO 3 hours late, around 1 o'clock in the morning, the honor guard was there. We greeted us. They had another reception for us, and we were each presented with the quilt, from Quilt of Honor, from a group of women, I believe from Iowa, who made the quilts. My quilt is over there on the side. To conclude this presentation, I thought I'd show the Washington Monument, which dominates the landscape of Washington, D.C. God bless America. That's it.
Take some questions.
So yeah, questions? I have some information on that table. If anybody's interested in signing up for this honor flight, there's some brochures there. I would highly recommend going on that if you are a veteran.
Does the group meet often?
No, we met one time. We had a reunion. We met about three times before the trip.
Where were you in Vietnam?
Tanzania, which was the Saigon Airport.